What's going on, guys? So, last time we talked, we were talking about handle materials and all the different things that you could do for handle materials. I also figured out a way to share my screen a little better. So, I'm going to test this and see if this works any better. So, anyway, um, last time we were talking about handle materials. Today, I want to talk to you about blade steels. Again, I usually use two or three different places to buy my steels from, depending on what they have available. Maker Material Supply is a good one. They have a lot of carbon steels, and they have AEB-L, which is a steel that I like to use. So we can click on this. It says 1084, but this is all your high carbon steels. And this is all the things. So W2, 52100, 1084, 80 CRV2, 1095, 15, and 20. Let's click on the 80 CRV2 because that's something I like to use. 3/32, eighth inch, all the way up to quarter inch, which is what I use for like the naked columns and the gargoyles. 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and you can get either 12 lengths or 24. And the price is very reasonable for that steel, which is kind of why I use it. Plus, it keeps the end product, um, the price on the end product, pretty low. And they usually give you a little info on the blade, and some of them even give you a little heat treating information. So let's go back and go back again to see what kind of stainless they have. So I'm going to click on AEB, but this is all their stainless. So they have two different things you could choose from: CPM 154, which is a good stainless, and AEB-L, which is something that I really like to work with. Um, so you can see all the different choices and everything that you can choose from, and the prices obviously go up the thicker you go and the larger that you go. Let's check out Jance. So Jance has a little bit more of a selection of what you want to do and what steels you want to use. So they have tool steels and stainless and carbon and spring steel and high speed steel. So they have all of these different things. Let's start with stainless because they got some really cool stuff for stainless. So 440C, tried and true 440C. It was the super steel in what, the 80s. And some of the old school makers that I have been talking to will swear by this over anything else. As long as it's heat treated properly and treated with care, this is just as good as anything else in their eyes. But, there's always the argument. 154 CM. We got S30V. Let's click on S30V just so you guys can see. So they give you three different options. They give you the mill finish, precision ground, which is just, it's very precision cut and it's a little cleaner. And then you have the Blanchard ground, which is just a little cleaner than the steel mill finish, which is kind of rough, and you end up having to grind it all down and thin it out, which is fine. So we have all the way up from 3/32, which would be like, that would be like really thin stock, like a kitchen knife or something like that, all the way up to 3/16, which isn't too bad. It's pretty thick. Let's see, you got starting with 1 inch all the way up to 4 inches in width, so that's not bad. And 18 inches or 36 inches in length. Of course, the longer you go, the more expensive it's going to be. So let's see, if I was to get 8 inch, which is something I like, 1.5, which is about the width I need for most of my blades, it would cost me $46.12. So it would end up being a little over $50 shipped to me just to get 18 inches, which is that's probably about 3 and a half knives that I can make with that. So it's not terrible, but again, that price creeps up there where it's kind of expensive. Um, so let's go back, see what else they had. They had S35VN, which is another cool one. Before I get to the one I'm sure all of you guys have already picked out and are looking at. So again, we're starting at probably about $32, and that's for 1/8 inch. Let's do 1.5. It goes up to almost $50 for a 1.5 inch width. So 1 inch, that's pretty small. I might be able to fit a pedal into that, but not really anything bigger. And I'm sure you guys saw this. So MagnaCut, you can actually buy MagnaCut from Jance. And let's go look at the mill finish because that's usually the cheaper of the three. And yeah, so we're starting at $77.35 for whatever they've picked down here. So that's 1/8 inch, which is the thinnest they offer, the thinnest width, and 18 inches, which is, again, I could probably get 2 to 3 blades out of that length, as long as I stick to some of the small stuff. Like that would probably make about 3 rock hoppers with a little left over, or 2 rock hoppers and maybe a pistol or a stigma. And that would, yeah, I'm looking at a piece over here on the side, and that would probably work. So that gives you an idea of what it is. And then for carbon steels, which is what I don't use a lot of tool steels, because I have to, stainless, I don't know. Tool steels it's a weird thing for me. Anyway, so I have D2, 1095, 80 CRV2. There's a lot of choices for me to pick from. And it could be a little fun. And then they have some of this stuff down here, like the mixed box. I like getting the mixed box because they're all small pieces. I can get 1 to 2 blades, possibly, out of these bars. And then they give me all these different thicknesses, which I like to play with. So that's not a bad deal. Um, so there's Jance. And I have one more site up here that I didn't talk about last time, Pop's Knife Supply. They do some really great stuff. We're talking about steels right now, so let's see. Steel. Okay, so they have 440C. They have MagnaCut. They whatever Gambler Custom Sanmai. So there's the Sanmai 80 CRV2. And they have like 4-foot bars of 80 CRV2, so that's really awesome. So 1/8 inch thick, 2 inches wide. Let's see, do they have 1.5? They sold out. Let's see, do they have 1 inch? Unavailable. 2 inches? Yes, they do. 2 inches is a little wide though. I end up wasting a lot of material, and I'm not really a big fan of wasting a lot of material. But I tell you what, $34 for 1/8 inch thick, 2 inch wide, 4-foot bar. That's pretty darn good. I can get a good 6 to 8 blades out of that bar of steel. So that gives you an idea. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to. I'm playing with the screen sharing thing, and sharing with you guys some of the processes that I go through to find some materials and some of the websites that I do. I don't mind showing you the prices on things. Some people might freak out and be like, "Well, don't show them the price of what you're buying the steel for." But you know what? At the end of the day, when you buy a knife from me, you're not buying the materials. The materials are part of it, but you're buying the time that it took to make the blade that I made. You're paying for my time. Any custom maker, you're paying for my time, and I price things based on what I think my time is worth. I probably should be charging more. There's many guys who are charging a lot more money than I am, but you know what? I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing this just to be able to have a part-time thing that I can do on the weekends and sometimes in the mornings before work, and have a good time doing it. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. But I'm not afraid to share all this stuff with you because I feel like the more you know, the more you know, the better it is. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And please subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 500, and I need about 25 more, well, 30 probably, more people, more subscribers. Please share the channel, and please like or not, leave a comment or not. That choice is yours.